Today's Saturday, March the 9th of 2019. Talking about being fair. I thought I knew what being fair was. As a competitive figure skater, I thought that being fair was everybody should win, and there should not be any specific losers. As I was growing up in Minnesota and the St. Paul, Minneapolis area, I was taught how to compete. And I would be competing as a single skater, or as a pair skater, or a dance skater. And initially, the competitions were against those that were very local, those people that I would know very well, because we'd seen them all the time. We were on the same rink together, competing and skating together all the time. And a lot of our competitions were at our own rink at the Maplewood Figure Skating Club. And in singles, I would compete against Juan or Jeff or Mike, and we kind of jockeyed for positions a lot. I thought, to be fair, is everybody should have a chance to win. And that was similar to when we were doing our pair skating or dance skating. And I never liked that only one person would win. The most glaring episode of that was, there was a competition in Minneapolis, and Jody and I were competing in dance, and it was against Tanya Kleinsasser, remember that name, and her partner Brett. The first part of the competition was singles, the singles dance, where you'd go around by yourself doing the dance, and then you do the pair part of it. So the singles part, I competed against Brett, and I won. And so in my mind, being fair is he should win one time as well. And in order to do that, I had to fix the event, or throw the event. I didn't skate very well during the dance part with my partner, Jody, and so I technically threw the event. Now, I never told Jody that. Tanya, on the other hand, she and I skated together a couple years later, and she disagrees. She says that they would have won anyways because they were so much better than we were. I disagreed, so it was a friendly disagreement that we had at that time. But that was my understanding, that was my way of making sure that things were fair amongst us. A few years later, Tanya and I got together in Colorado, and we were skating up the Broadmoor. And as you get up in the levels, we were now at the junior level, which is right below the Olympic or senior level. At that level, things get a bit more difficult to be fair in, and I had to learn that pretty quickly. Because this is not a single event. This is a time-measured event, meaning you're watched over time as to how well you improve and how well you improve amongst your peers. So it wasn't a single event that you had to be fair with. And we would compete in Colorado, we'd compete in Chicago, California, throughout the Midwest and throughout the States. And it was easier to not being fair during these competitions because you were trying to get better, and I didn't know these people as well, so it didn't matter whether I beat them or lost to them. So over time, it became easier to not throw an event. During Tanya and I's our first year, our first competition, first set of big competitions was heading towards the national competition. And you start at the Southwest, in the Southwesterns, and there's 12 of these different regions, and I think it's 9. And then you compete at that level. And this first one in, I think it was 83, 84. We competed and we did pretty well. I think we placed third at that level. And that was with 2 other competitors that were from the Broadmoor. Then we moved on to the Midwestern section. and there's 3 of these sections, so the competitors get better because they're from broader draw. They'd be from Chicago or Detroit, or where we're from in Colorado, and we get people from Dallas as well. At this level, this first one was in Minneapolis, and so I was able to come back home for this first competition and skated with Tanya up there. This was really nice because my friends come to see me, and my relatives and my best friend, my cousin Brent, could come and watch too. I was so proud to perform in front of the home crowd. Had a really good time, and during this you do the compulsory dances, which everybody does the same dance to the same music, and the judges are able to compare each step to each step of each competitor. Then the next section was the original pattern, where you use a similar tempo, which was the tango this year. And the judges compare how you were able to interpret the music with your choreography, and your speed, and your time. And the final is the free dance, where you pretty much take any tempo you want to, and do any step with a few rules in it. And at the end of this competition, we had a very good time, and I think we placed 5th or 6th at that time. The top 3 or 4 are able to move on from the Midwestern section to the Nationals, and we didn't make it this time, which was okay. This was our first one. We had a fabulous competition though. We met a lot of great people, talked to some good judges, other coaches, and realized that we like doing this. And I learned during this time that being fair is not allowing other people to win, because that's really technically not fair. So really being fair is doing your best. And in that way, you're able to encourage those ahead of you to do better, because they see that you're hungry and you're after them. And you encourage those behind you because they know that they can get better as well, because they see you and encourage them to get better as well. Tanya and I like to watch other competitors, and our coaches didn't agree with that. But we really like to watch them, like to encourage them, like to cheer for them, because they were our friends. And even if we just met them that day, they were still our friends. And found that us encouraging them on allowed us to share our love of skating with them. And we could encourage them, we could build them up when they fell, or when they tripped and they made a mistake. And we were able to love them. And that's how we were being fair with other competitors. So I continue to be fair, but I don't throw an event anymore. Well, maybe. I suppose when I'm working with my kids and we're playing checkers or chess, I might throw a couple events at that point, just to encourage them, keep them interested. But as far as competitive skating, never threw an event after that. Wasn't fair.